Hello, and welcome back to Downtime Activities, and welcome back to Skygate, our 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign that takes place almost entirely underground. Right now, underground, deep in the Underdark, in the city of Sloughton, off of the Slagmere, a great magma sea. You guys have just left the circus. Bogtrottle's peculiar menagerie was peculiar indeed. You enjoyed some different events. You got angry at a guy for not letting your cheating work because he was also cheating. You went and saw the main event, and you freed a drow who was seemingly imprisoned through some sort of enchantment magics by the leader of this circus. She seemed to have some violent intent. Not sure exactly what that's going to be, but you know exactly what that's going to be. But you all are leaving that behind you and heading off into the night. The circus having been enough for you, lost its gilding, as you said, I believe, last time. Excuse me. And you are all heading back into the city of Sloughton.
I mean, I just think that it's like kind of our rest day. We're not like really on the clock.
You can go and carouse as much as you like.
I just think you don't get wasted on a business trip. I just think...
Not unless you want to have a conversation with HR later.
Yeah, but it's going to be on the company.
Yeah, it's like we're the whole company.
Well, also, let's just be real. The richest person who could bail us out of trouble just gave away half of her gold. So let's think about it like this.
I just think that I just think that it's polite to partake of the local culture, and I bet Sloughton carousing is like its own special.
Candle, you are a true dwarf, and I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I have to be HR.
No,
I'm the only human.
No.
CEO. I'm a human.
You have
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Yeah,
Why?
I'm human plus. Human plus beholder. 100% human, 3% beholder.
No, I'm human resources.
He's human
because
S.
I'm the only
The
human
S
that's
is-
using my resources.
Wait,
I am a human.
why does human have to be HR?
Because it's human
Human
resources.
Oh. Oh.
That's the term.
So then why do we need HR? Because none of us are human.
Employee resources. I'm sending you all the ER.
Ooh, call an ambulance. Not for me.
But not for me. So is anyone doing any carousing, or are you guys going to bed?
Oh.
All right, Dermir's carousing.
Alright. Sounds like Candle's
you know-
That looks like Candle's carousing.
Lala's
Anyone
gonna
else?
plan a
We don't
murder,
need
so- Yeah.
I'm gonna go steal my fucking gold back.
We don't need HR's approval. We're not even H's. See?
If after a couple hours, you sort of come back to, like, you realize, like, I didn't really like the circus as much as I thought I liked the circus. Why did I give so much money to that circus?
So all the dwarves in Skygate, they have a DR, Dwarven Resources.
Listen, we can argue at our org chart another time.
Hold up my hammer. This is mine.
If you would like to try and go back to the circus and get your money back, by the time you sort of realize what's happened, it seems like the circus is shut down for the night, but you could try.
Police tape. It's
Yeah. Massive murder investigation.
Can I try to sneak in?
You can certainly. It doesn't require much sneaking in. The circus seems. It seems borderline like it hasn't really been. It's no longer running, but it doesn't really seem like it's been shut down fully either. If that makes sense.
It
It's a
seems.
ghost town.
It seems like somebody might have been murdered, and everybody else kind of went. Time to leave.
Okay, I'm gonna just walk around until I find like some sort of like office-looking thing where that guy's tent, the main guy.
Go ahead and roll me an
You're gonna walk
investigation.
into a crime scene investigation and be like,
I don't give a shit. I'm getting my gold.
I'd
back.
let it be an investigation or a perception, either one.
Okay, investigation or perception.
Won't be amazing. Well, I guess you'll be okay at either of them. Investigation, you have +3.
Wait, and perception.
You have 0. So,
Investigation it is.
investigate Cowabunga it is.
What's up? Okay, 12 plus 3.
15.
15? Eventually, it doesn't take too long for you to find what you think is probably Bogtrottle's tent. And heading inside of it, it's very, very nicely furnished. You know, there's like some lovely drapery on the walls with blood splattered on it. There's some really nice carpeting on the ground with blood splattered on it. There's a really ornate desk that looks like it'd be pretty hard to move around with a weird gray corpse strewn across it. And there is set into the corner what appears to be a pretty large metal safe that is clearly open and clearly empty.
Ooh.
That
You're too.
But you do see dead on the desk, not Bogtrottle, at least not the Bogtrottle you know. Instead of a Svirfneblin in colorful, bright clothing, you see a medium-sized humanoid that's kind of a strange, grayish-skinned creature with kind of weird, white, opaque eyes over the front that seems to be kind of strewn across this table and has multiple stab wounds in its chest.
It was never a kobold circus at all. It was a doppelganger circus. I mean, there were lots of kobolds at the circus, but it was being run by...
But how many of them were doppelgangers?
So, this makes me think that the, Sloughton magistrate walked in here and went, I ain't dealing with this.
They probably just don't know yet.
True.
that fucking
It's not like GTA, you're just gonna want it.
You aren't going to shoot him. You get 2 stars.
If you'd like to try and get a play-by-play of what you think happened, you can certainly make me a survival check to see if you can kind of tell by the tracks and stuff what happened here.
There was no duel.
He was
One of them was a master.
12 times.
10.
10. What you think happened is, in some order, this man had his throat slit and himself stabbed in the chest a great number of times, probably from stealth. As it seems like there's no sign of like struggle or fighting back. And the stabs in the chest were probably done either post-mortem or mortem during mortems, and probably more like a releasing of anger than a actual death blow with the throat already slit.
Crime of passion.
And you can tell that there are some sets of tracks, like kind of just running through the blood, that probably happened afterwards as the blood had pooled here. That seem to go to that don't seem to be the same like boot marks, whatever, of the person who murdered this guy. It seems like somebody after this death happened came in here, probably saw this death, and went over, stole everything out of the safe, and ran off with it. Didn't tell anybody that this had happened here.
Ooh. Can I follow those tracks a little bit?
With the survival of 10, you can follow them back out the door of the tent, but from there they're lost.
Okay. Shit. Can I like walk around to see if anyone's looking shady as fuck?
It's a carnival.
Sure.
Well, it's an abandoned carnival. So anybody here would be looking shady because it's an abandoned carnival.
Go ahead and roll me a perception.
Plus 0.
4. A 4.
4.
Yeah.
4.
Yes, Manny.
I mean, there's not really much of anybody to see. Just mean, there's not really like there's the occasional like performer from the circus who seems to be wandering like from a latrine tent to their sleeping tent. An occasional like probably person who is attending the carnival or maybe a member of it, like it's Svirfneblin throwing up somewhere in the corner, probably of having had too much to drink. But there's nobody laden with treasures walking around going, hee hee. There's not a guy in black and white stripes with a big bag that has a money symbol on it that's like walking around, looking around sketchily.
I was going to say
That's
one
not
of,
how we
the,
got you.
one of the loot goblins from Diablo.
Yeah.
Just running around leaving a path of gold coins behind.
Shit. Well,
Sorry, love.
whose idea was it to go to the circus?
I think it was more of a
I believe it was yours.
We can go back to the tapes and you can start playing.
Yeah.
Candle was probably excited about going to.
You can't tell me Lala wasn't excited about going to the circus.
I want to blame this on someone else.
But who knows?
Lala holds no accountability.
For the other two of you who are carousing tonight, go ahead and roll me percentile dice.
It does make me feel a little better that he died. That fucking bastard.
The person who robbed you got super murdered.
And he super deserved it for a lot of reasons.
64?
63.
60. Hey!
So whatever trouble you're getting in, you're doing it together.
They're either going to be very similar or very different based off of this list.
God.
That's the
Did Candle change his true name again?
No.
Yeah, he signed a contract with the devil and changed his true name to Theodar of House
No, I mean,
Kron.
that's what the guy did.
Yeah. You again.
I think because of the nature of the two of these, they're combined, but you're also very lucky. Because you... Oh, let's see how... 2, okay. You will both wake up in a cavern somewhere. Not in the city of Sloughton.
The same
Okay.
cavern?
You both wake up in the same cavern. Which one of you is the 63?
that was me.
Yeah.
That was you. You... Wait a second.
Rereading.
It was 63 and 64, right?
Yeah.
Yep. If a woman has stretch mark... Wait a second. If a women's has starch masks...
We're going to make a slight shift to this because this is funny.
The way he said,
So,
wait a second, just like...
you wake up, Dermir. You kind of wake up and you're snuggling something. And as you kind of like look down, you realize what you are snuggling is a large mushroom.
No!
One that has little arms and legs, and so you just kind of like look up confused with what little bit of a face it has. And you look around to see, also waking up next to you, Candle. But you also hear, kind of echoing around you as you kind of look at him and see, there is a total, this is your personal hell. Welcome to your personal hell. There is 11 more of these strange little mushroom people who are just kind of swaying back and forth in a circle around you. And you can hear, even though they have no mouths that move, a kind of a lullaby song echoing in both of your heads. Candle, you recognize this as a lullaby you heard growing up.
Oh.
I'm gonna go ahead and start smashing him.
Oh my god. So you attack the little mic in there?
I'm gonna start smashing him.
Roll an attack.
We're doing whack-a-mole.
Of the mushroom
Yep.
children. What do mushroom children imply?
Mushroom barons.
22.
Just the...
22.
the
Roll
real
damage.
Slow wind up.
Those little fuckers will lead you in an ambush too.
Yeah. There's like at least
6.
one that's programmed to be
6.
non-hostile to distract
You
to-
grab this thing, pull it off of you. You have a mace? What do you have?
I have a warhammer.
A warhammer, and you just swing this down, and it crushes into the cap of this thing, and it folds in and just like kind of sloughs into dead matter in your hand. And all of these little things singing around you just like stumble back, and instead of a cacophony of music, you hear a cacophony of what sounds like children screaming, echoing in your head as all these little mushrooms flee and scatter into the cavern around you.
I mean, I'm gonna chase after one more, and maybe I'll catch one.
Okay.
Jesus.
Go ahead and let me.
I hate mushrooms.
You are not able to catch any of the rest of these, as it takes you a second to stumble onto your feet, and they are faster than you scattering around into these caverns. So you aren't able to catch any more.
That is hilarious. This is your personal hell. Oh, that's funny.
I should have shot out freaking the firebolt sound.
Apparently drinking with Durmir is turning into my personal hell. That felt needless.
That's the. I need a shower.
I was hoping you were snuggling with that sack of gold.
Man, apparently while I was drunk, I taught them a lullaby from my childhood, and now they're going to view that lullaby with a sense of dread and horror.
It is funny
but-
that you both had like.
Luckily, you have Candle with you, and it takes a little while for you to realize what cavern you're in, and it does take a little while to make it back to Sloughton, as you are 2 miles outside of Sloughton in the caverns of the Underdark.
Brutal.
That's what we're drinking.
Like, are we just standing at the pier waiting for them when they walk up? Like, candle,
They walk
like,
up pretty disheveled.
Yeah.
He's kind of got that like 1,000-yard stare, like he's seen some shit.
I would like
Dermere, you can't tell what's
despite-
wrong with
despite
him
the
because his
fact
eyes
that
are
it's like
in different directions.
still relatively early in the day, I think I would like to just go get a drink at the bar when we return.
Fair enough.
I'll take a large pour of whatever the strongest stuff they've got is.
Good stuff.
And that was the carousing table for tonight. Good work, everybody. Hope you had fun.
No more
Jesus Christ.
no more drinking with just Dermere.
Because you'll just kill the random mushroom. I don't know if that's funnier than when he woke up naked in front of his clan's office or
Inside the
whatever.
front door.
This was more embarrassing.
Was he also the one who ate all the cookies that the orphans had cooked?
Oh,
Rough one.
I think so.
What is up with Dermere and just abusing the children of the
He's
Underdark?
an
He's an
angry
angry
drunk.
drunk, yeah.
He's an angry drunk.
He eats their cookies. He kills them. He's a monster. So, after some drinks, after some crises of realizing who you're traveling with, the lot of you will be able to arrive at the Beholder's Bollocks. Your traveling companions, unless you specifically ask them to come along, are probably going to be staying behind in the city,
No, this is personal
being
business.
like, I'm happy to go along with you on this journey that we're going to, but this little side adventure where you go off into the magma lake, I'm kind of going to chill unless you really ask
Be a-
nicely.
be a nah for me.
That's up to you.
No?
But you can see Bez is there, and he seems to be, you know how like you would like scratch or like scrape barnacles off the side of like a hole? You can see that he's got like this heavy metal scraper, and he seems to be like scraping what is basically like slag, like kind of like coagulated magma rock off the side of the Beholder's Bollocks as you approach up.
Rags.
Oh, being
And,
keelhauled down here would be much worse.
Well, yeah. I don't want to.
And he'll kind of turn as you approach and be like, you're ready to set sail then.
Aye.
Yes.
I got a second mag mink, so the Beholder's Bollocks is lava ready. That here's, you remember Spritz, of course, and then we got over there, that's Stand-In.
Standing. Standing in what? Lava.
I would like to huddle in the middle of the boat because the motion makes me feel queasy because I'm hungover.
Fair.
And the bright light of the lava is giving me a headache.
The lava sea is
Okay.
definitely the worst place to have a hangover. There's probably not many places that are worse.
This is a ship big enough for you all. There seems to be kind of a sort of, you can tell that there's like reins or some sort of like something that attaches onto these magminks that kind of threads through some gears and stuff in the machine. And it seems like the controls for that are in a kind of little metal box in the center. And you see Captain Bez kind of go in that and pull a little hatch over the top of him. He has like a little slit through the front he can see through. He's like, sorry, only room for me in here. You're gonna have to hold on the outside. And there's like handholds around the outside of it, and they're like a rail, sort of, around the outside. You don't really trust. It's more of like metal poles with like chain running between them. It's more like what would separate somebody in like a ride at the carnival than it is like safety rails. You wouldn't really want to lean and trust these things, but there's something there. And there's space for all of you to be there. It's a little cramped. There's a little bit of like kind of hanging on the side. It feels a little sketchy when surrounded by magma. But the group of you are able to get on board this thing.
It's just enough so you trip and fall
And-
first.
Right.
Which is better.
Much better.
Except, did you ever see the
And
Cowboy
you can
video
see
about actually, like,
Captain Bez kind of move and like
Jump
pull on a
over
crank, and
and
some of
just go
the
skidding
chains and
across
ropes
the
in this
top
gear
of it
system
first.
shift, and the magminks. You can see the like bubbling magma kind of kick up a little bit and start to move and sort of bubble and twist and writhe in front of this slag skiff. Is that what I called these? I think that's what I called these. The slag skiff sort of kicks up and starts to glide and move, and it kind of sways at first and then corrects and starts to guide straight through.
Yes.
I think this is fucking awesome. Axel is pumped.
I would be excited if I
And
put
it's pretty
someone
sweet.
over. And traumatized.
I'm pretty bitter from the other day. I'm
I think
super
we need
bitter.
Well,
a-
it's still
a big
mad.
duel skiff, and then someone has to jump off and say something about high ground.
Oh, right. Yeah. Well, so then I stand up on top of the box and I go, "No, I have the high ground.
Don't try it there.
Don't try it there, Gar." Yeah. And then
And
I
he just
push
pushes
all
his
his
arms
arms off.
because he's actually a Jedi.
Well, it's true. Yeah. You would have to be. Actually, yeah. You would have to be the guy on top. Because
Yeah.
You're the Jedi.
That makes sense.
I would be the Sith. Or apparently, Dermir's the Sith.
Yeah,
You
know.
did just
Jedi temple
just
scene.
Jedi temple
Not-
scene, yeah.
Not just the mushrooms, but the mushroom children.
Not just the mushroom men, but the mushroom women and the mushroom children.
I saw him
too.
killing mushroom lings.
I hate shrooms. They grow everywhere. They're so dank.
They don't taste very good either.
Little do you know that Dermir's mom was murdered by a group of Myconids. That's what hates him so much. It's a tragic
That would
backstory.
explain a lot.
That would explain his tragic backstory.
And he watched it happen. His eyes used to be normally set in the center of his face.
Yeah.
It
To
messed
avoid
him
more
up so
trauma,
much.
my eyes.
So is it? So are we gonna have that moment where the dwarf that Dermir is in love with, where he actually marries her, and they go to have kids, and then he kills her because he's so mad?
It seems in your anger.
Oh
He
yeah.
uses his anger, like
Go breed it.
In your anger, you thought she was a Myconid. Do not walk.
Our mushroom.
It seems in your anger you mistook her for a mushroom.
All right, the slag skiff takes off. And Magnings, you got Spritz and stand-in pulling your slag skiff, the Beholder's Bollocks, and you make your way out into the Slagmere. You had like the cardinal direction roughly to go, and you knew about 5 miles distant. If you give him that much, he'll just start that trek. He will say, "Keep an eye out for fire newts, as it is fire. Keep an eye out for fire newts, as it is fire newt season." And you start making your way through the magma.
I would like to ask him what
Oh,
fire
Maggie's got a
newts taste
question.
like.
You ask him what?
Oh, what fire newts taste like?
He'll say, "I wouldn't take a bite out of them. They're as red hot as what we're sliding through here."
Ah, well, you said they were in season. I thought that meant like fishing.
I assume it means mating season.
Right. Well, I mean, it could be both.
More of a raiding season. They usually are deeper in the Slagmere, but this time of year they tend to have droves that come out and attack slag skiffs. Grab people, try and pull them into the magma to dissolve them. They're really angry that we're on the coastline here. So keep an eye out. On Spritz, on stand-in.
Get us the fuck out of here.
Okay. As you're all, there's a surprise round. Does anyone have anything for surprise rounds where they aren't affected by surprise or whatever?
Are you
I know there's magic
do not
items
have
and
alerts
stuff like that, but I don't know
Sounds like
if anyone
there's
has that.
Yep. Nope.
that's a my knowledge.
Okay. I'd like everyone to go ahead and roll me initiative.
Kiss my ass.
I saw
Let's see. What's the
Okay.
initiative? That's
Wow.
2.
Yeah, they're good at
Most of
rolling
that.
that number.
Oh jeez.
They catch me by super surprise.
Could have used that.
They have a +1 to this. I think yes.
Ooh,
Okay.
divination.
That is that. 20 plus.
25.
25.
Whatever there.
Oh,
Anyone else 20 plus? 15 to 20.
I have
15.
Sorry, I have 20, 22?
22?
Yeah.
4 plus. You had 18? Nice.
22?
Sorry, Jocelyn was.
So
Do it math.
your second.
15.
So 15 for Zeraxis.
Yes.
10 to 15.
I got a 14.
10.
14. And so Theogar's last.
You afford two
Or wait.
of these.
Oh, there's Axel too.
Just
5 to
many.
10. I'm looking at a different screen. How many is this? 4. What is Dermir or what's Theogar?
10. This
10.
one.
Okay.
It's great for any number less than 10. It's pretty funny.
So there will be a surprise round. So the first round of initiative, none of you will get to act in, as a raiding party of Fire Newt warriors is going to attack this vessel. There are 6 of you, right? So there are going to be 5 of them that are going to be jumping up onto the edge of the ship, and there are 5 of them that are going to be shooting, like spitting out a glob of fire at you. Let's roll for who doesn't get a glob of fire spat at them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Theogar, you do not get any fire spit
Every
at you.
time.
Everyone else does.
Well,
Damn.
of course I'm going to be
They
tired.
never got swag in combat.
So I need everybody else to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
That's a 17.
So with a 17, you will take half as you dodge a good portion of this. You'll take 6 fire damage. What is your dex save, Dermir?
I also had 17.
Okay, you are also successful, so you'll take half, which will be 1. 3, we always round down, so you'll take 1 fire damage. Lala,
8.
8. You'll take full damage, which will be 9 fire damage.
Halved because of Gold
Oh.
Dragon.
Because Gold Dragon, you'll take half, so 4. Axel,
Rad.
7.
all right, you will take 8 fire damage. And Candle,
22.
22. You will take 2 after it is halved of fire damage. As you see kind of 5 different heads of these things pop up out of the magma. They look somewhat similar to the magminks, but instead of being like a mink, they look like a toad, basically. Their head looks almost like a toad-like or like salamander-like head. That you can kind of see that there's probably more body underneath, but these ones just like poke up a head and each spit globs of lava at you. And then 5 more clamber up onto the sides of this thing. And you can see they are wielding what looks like kind of stonework or metalwork weapons, something almost made out of like some sort of volcanic glass. And they're going to move up onto this, and we'll see which one of you doesn't get attacked in melee, which will be... For Axel will not get attacked in melee, everyone else will. So, Zeraxis, the 2 attacks coming at you are a 13 and an 8, which I assume misses.
Yep, both.
Dermir, it is a 17 and an 8.
For the hit?
Yeah.
To hit, yeah, against your armor class.
Yeah, no hit.
Lala, it is a 17 and an 8.
7 meets it, beats it. So
Need to beat.
One hit.
So, you will take 5 slashing damage
Slash.
as one of the scimitar strikes of this weapon hits you. Axel doesn't take any. Candle, it's a 19 and a 9.
1 hit.
That'll be 4 slashing damage. And Theogar, it is bad. It's an 11 and a 5. As these things clamber up on the side as they're attacking. And you, and Bez inside goes like, that's what I was talking about. Those are the fire newts. And then you see him like reach over and grab and slide something across the slot as a metal panel blocks him in further inside of this. And you hear like, before he goes over, he's like, I believe in you. You got this. And he closes it the rest of the way. And then we'll go to the top of the initiative order after this surprise round, which will be Candle.
Well, let's see how he likes being in melee for my first round of combat.
I guess he won't like it very much.
So we'll start with the first of what will end up being 4 attacks because I'm a dual wielder and a Gloomstalker Ranger. That is a 17 to hit with my Holy Longsword.
Holy long sword, 17 hits.
I assume these are not
And you can
phasing
see
to
that-
undead.
These are not. These are not. They are humanoids, technically. And you can see that they do have, like, slag, like, the ones that clamber up onto here, you can see they do have, like, chunks of, like, stony slag attached to their arms, as well as seem to be basically shields. And some chunks of slag that are, like, molten, like, kind of writhing around on their chest that also seems to give them some level of armoring.
That is 12
17
damage on the first hit.
12? Okay, takes all of it.
23 to hit,
23 will definitely hit.
which is another 8 damage.
Okay, looks very bad off, but is still up.
My bonus longsword swing, not my last attack, but my last longsword swing is 20 to hit
20 will hit,
for another 8 damage.
and it goes down. You kill one of the fire knights.
And I guess maybe I'll get up to the one next to Lala for my offhand attack,
Okay. I say you can do that.
which is an 11. I assume that misses.
11 will miss. All right. After that, it is Lawless.
Well, I did my job. Put the cheap sunglasses back on and continue to try not to throw up.
So confusion because you can hit a bunch of those and make them ineffective. Sphere. So yeah, you can just like hit a 10-foot sphere and get a couple of them with that. Hypnotic Pattern's a bigger area. You can get a 30-foot cube. So you can probably like take basically a whole side of the ship and make them incapacitated. If they fail to save, which can be pretty good.
Let's do that.
Yeah? Yeah. Okay, so say that.
I'm gonna cast Hypnotic Pattern closest to where like all of these creatures are at.
Hypnotic Pattern's allies.
Okay. What's the like radius, or what's the sort of blast template of that?
Yeah, so it's a 30
30-foot cube?
Yeah.
I would say you could get 3 of the ones in the magma and 1 of the ones on the edge without hitting any of your friends inside of this area. It's the most you could get is 4, unless you want to include some friends in the area of this. Is that what you'd like to do?
Sick handle with it.
How many could you get if she hit everyone?
She could get just about everybody. This is a small boat.
What about does confusion hit?
So
also?
confusion's a 10-foot sphere, which you'd be able to hit like a similar
You could get-
number.
But you could probably get 3 out in the magma instead, and not get 1 on the edge of the boat that jumped on the boat.
Hypnotic Pattern's probably better.
Okay, let's do that then.
Yeah, so we'll get the 4. So
The 4? Okay.
wisdom
What kind of
saves.
save are they making?
Wisdom save.
Wisdom. Okay, that's a pretty big variety of rolls. What's their bonus to this? Plus 0. So it is 3, 8, 10, and 15.
Okay, sorry, hang on. 10. You have 14. So it's a 14 DC.
So 1 succeeds, 3 fail.
Okay, so they are.
For the ease of myself keeping track of this, the 3 in the magma fail, and the 1 on the boat succeeds.
Sounds good. So while they are under the effect for the next minute, they are charmed for the duration. While they are charmed with the spell, the creature is incapacitated and has a speed of 0.
Okay.
So if
Do they
we're
have like
moving-
another save on their turn or
Yeah.
anything?
Nope. Sorry. The spell ends for an affected creature if it takes any damage or if someone else uses an action to shake the creature out of its stupor.
Okay.
So if we're moving, they'll get left behind.
Yeah, and the other ones are like swimming along the side of you, so 3 of them just kind of go and just like drift as you guys continue to glide along.
Essentially, you
Just
just
basically a triple.
yeah. I'm like that was pretty hypnotic pattern, pretty good.
Pretty damn good.
Pretty good.
All right. After that, it goes back to them. There are still now basically total of 6. There's 2 swimming in the water and 4 up on the boat. The 4 on the boat, I think they're gonna try, right? They made it up here. I didn't come here to play nice. I came here to play nasty. So the two in the water, I'm gonna choose who they're spitting their fire at. One at Candle, and one at Dermere. So I need both of you guys to make me dex saves.
16.
4.
16? 4. So Dermere fails, and will take 8 fire damage. And Candle, you succeed, and will take 3 fire damage. And then the others
Sorry.
are going to make some decisions. I think 2 will be bastards, and 2 will be different kinds of bastards. So, okay, the one that's on user axis is going to make 2 attacks against you with its scimitar. Both miss. Highest is an 8. The one that was on Lala is also going to make 2 attacks on Lala, which is a very dichotomous roll. Crit fail and a crit success. So we'll say, for the sake of this, they're going to crit you, but the other attack is going to basically trip them up and make them fall, and they're going to get lost and fall behind as well with the crit fail.
Hey, look,
But before they go, they will
people.
crit you with this. Which is going to be for 9 slashing damage. The other 2, one of which is going to be on Axel, and one of which is going to be
I didn't have anybody
on...
on me.
Huh?
I didn't have anybody attacking me. Remember? They didn't attack.
They're scattered throughout the ship. I'm just saying who they're going for now.
Okay, all good. I was just like, oh. I
They're all close enough that they can pretty easily move around.
Yeah, it's a small
and one at Candle.
Bolt action.
Axel and Candle, I need you both to roll me athletics or acrobatics, as these other ones try to shove you off the boat.
Well, it's gonna be a tough one for me, boys. Do I have
And
any?
thus we lost our CEO.
Our second CEO.
In like a month.
Alright.
It's-
If we lose a second CEO over the span of like a month or two,
You can't write
we're gonna
it. You
start
can't
asking
write it
questions.
better than that. That's a crit 22 acrobatics, boys. I knew the salamander's name.
Alright. You whoop-de-wop this dude. What was it from Axel?
No,
Or from Candle, rather?
Oh,
acrobatics or athletics.
I think it's really the same either way, so we'll just say acrobatics. 23.
23. This thing tries to shove you, you swoop out of the way. This one tries to shove Axel, and he kind of does like a ole, and like slaps him on the back as it tumbles past, falls into the magma, and it kind of gets twisted and turned around, and it also falls behind and seems to be lagging behind the slag skiff
Hell yeah.
with a crit.
Perfect. All we've done
From
is set these
there,
guys up
it'll
and
be
it's on the way
Zaraxis.
back through.
Okay.
There are 3 left on the boat, and 2 that seem to be able to, that are currently kind of keeping pace swimming alongside the boat.
So, are they just like technically on the edge of the boat? Like,
Technically. All of you are on the edge of the boat, technically. This boat is all edges.
it's all in. So I mean, realistically, if I wanted to just strength, like essentially shove him off,
You could try. It'd be your action, but you could try to shove him off the, and it'd probably similarly make him fall, twist it around, and fall behind the current speed of the slag skiff. It seems like they were able to hit you because they were like waiting in ambush and moved with you from the start. But the slag skiff is moving as fast as they are, so they won't be able to catch up if you shove them off. It'd be an athletics check to attempt it.
Yeah, I have a 6 athletics. Why not?
Okay, go ahead and roll it. I'll roll to resist.
I'm gonna try to Spartan kick him off the ship.
You got to beat a 7, so better roll big here.
I gotta beat a what?
A 7.
Does a 19 beat it?
Carry the 2. Add it to the 3. Yeah, no, that'll work. That was yeah, Galaxy Brain. You just kind of check into one of them, and they go into the magma and are lost behind. After that, it is Dermere.
Squash that.
Due to the new what you did to that mushroom, just bonk him in the head.
Are you attacking it?
No, I'm gonna do my spiritual weapon and then I'm attacking with that.
Okay.
So,
I believe that's a spell attack.
He
With your
respects
bonus
them so little, he's not even gonna fight them himself.
22 to hit.
22 hits.
Where were these rolls in the last session? Or last
It's a way better modifier. That would be 9 damage.
Okay. It takes 9. It is still up. You do still have your action because it's a bonus action for spiritual weapon. So if you want to attack him with your actual weapon too, you can.
Yeah, I might as well just attack him with the actual weapon.
You don't feel like using firebolt on him would be a good idea.
Probably, yeah, I didn't think so. You know, I've not used it once.
Sold your soul for a
I
candy.
sold my soul for something. Well, I used the friendship one, but
You have used the friendship. 2 cantrips.
That is a 9 to hit.
A 9 will not. After that, it's Thegar.
Well,
There are 2 left on the ship. 1 are injured. There are 2 swimming alongside the ship that seem to be spitting fire at you.
I'm gonna swing at the injured one
Okay, roll your attack.
with Christmas dice.
Squash that.
That's only a 15.
15 will not hit.
I'll swing at him again.
All right.
That's a 10.
10 will also miss. Nice. After that, it's that was Thegar. After that, it's you again. No, Axel.
We've got how many in the water and how many on the boat?
2 and 2.
2 and 2.
If you cast Shatter on the boat, it will hit both of the ones on the boat.
Even better, I'm gonna cast Hold Person at 4th level, which gives me
Okay.
2 additional targets, so I can get 3 of
Okay.
them with Hold Person.
All right.
DC 15.
So like the 2 in the magma and the 1 uninjured one on the boat, we'll say. Okay. And what kind of save is that? It's wisdom.
Wisdom.
6, 15, and 16.
Okay, so 1 fails.
Okay, we'll say the one of the ones in the magma fails, and it just freezes up, and it also will fall behind and get lost behind you here.
wait, if he has to actively swim in the lava and he's no longer swimming, that's real bad. Like if it's like water rules.
I mean,
like,
these things can probably breathe this stuff, right?
Right.
Right? I guess you'll never know. After that, it is Candle.
Do I get an XP pop? Like
Yeah, but it's in a couple minutes from now.
yeah.
Like, what the hell is that
What was
for?
that for? Weird.
Why did I just get a bunch of runes randomly
Yeah.
while I was walking through this area?
Yeah.
Did something just follow its death? That was weird. I'll just I'll start with a swing at the injured one, I guess.
All right, swing.
15 misses, I believe.
15 misses.
How about 18?
18 hits.
Thresholds. We're closing in.
8 damage.
8 damage to the injured one.
Yep.
It is still up, but looks very bad off.
All right, then he's getting the offhand attack, which misses.
Okay. Lala, you are next. There are 2 on the boat and 1 swimming alongside of it. 1 on the boat is very badly injured.
You could give him a stab. You get a couple of spells.
Squash that, no. Squash that, no.
Can I cast pattern again on the guy in the water?
Yeah, but you're probably better off if you want to take someone out, just attacking the one on the boat. It won't cost you a spell slot.
Oh, I guess. Okay. I guess I will attack the injured one.
You got your
Okay.
skitars, so you roll +6 on these. Or you have your rapier actually, right?
That's plus
So
7.
like the. Yep. So you'll roll a +7. I keep forgetting that you're not a dual wielder. You just have a rapier.
Rapier.
Plus 7?
+7.
19 plus 7?
Hey, I'll have you
19
know
plus
that
7 will be
19 plus
probably
7 definitely hits.
So
sword
Definitely hits.
belongs to a famous aged knight.
that is true. So now
That is
D8
true.
plus 4.
That is the blade of Sir Daldramasthanthian Uncturvius, the Unflinching.
Very much flinched.
Perhaps if he'd flinched a little bit, he would have survived.
7 damage.
7 damage, he goes down. You finish it off.
Get multi-attack. This is one of those. It's been a while since I've.
I believe at 6th level, you get multi-attack as a sword bard.
I think so.
Sorry. I usually am more on top of this, but
Is it just the College of Valor?
Valor, yeah.
No, it's swords. It's swords.
Okay. Yeah, College of Valor gets it at 6th.
Oh, swords. Sorry. you're right.
She's a sword bard, not a valor bard.
I don't remember what book that's in.
All right, hang on. Sorry, real quick. This will be good.
I'm
to
looking
know.
it up.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Extra attack at 6th level.
6th level. Okay, so you can make a second attack
Okay,
if you.
cool. I'll go for the other one.
The other guy.
Other one on the boat. Go ahead and roll.
Let's see.
What's the number?
16 plus 7.
16 plus 7 probably also hits. Yeah.
Definitely hits. Definitely hits.
So
Roll damage.
Roll damage. You're a knight. You're a dame. Kill him. 6.
6.
6 damage. All right. Goes to that number. All right. It is still up, but very hurt. That is the end of your turn, I assume. Because you just attacked it, and because we're being very arbitrary with where things are located on this boat, one other of you, Candle. This last newt on the boat, you can see lets out like a. Do any of you speak Ignan?
I don't.
Any Ignan speakers in the house?
I can.
It says something in Ignan, and then it jumps off the boat. So if you are Candle or Lala can make an attack opportunity should you decide you would like to do that.
Yeah, sorry, I only speak deep speech now after getting my brain poked by the Alhoon so many times.
You want to stab him and he runs away like a coward?
Yeah.
I miss.
You miss. Okay.
Trail below 7.
19.
Yeah.
That'll hit.
Alright. Hit him.
Roll damage.
Lala's on a. She's angry. She's on a stabbing spree.
She's still,
I'm
still
upset.
sour about losing all that gold.
Lala don't miss. You could also do additional slashing damage with your bardic inspiration if you want.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right, roll it.
An additional D, or you have to roll your bard die with a D6.
Okay.
So roll another D8 and get a QB boy. If I'm remembering that properly.
I think it's just the bardic. I think you just
Is
had
it
your
just
bardic
bardic?
die.
Okay, so just the D8. Sorry.
It's your bardic inspiration die.
Yeah.
So there's our weapon damage plus or whatever the bardic inspiration is currently. I don't know if it's a D6 or D8 at this
I
level.
believe it's a D8 at this level. Another, sorry.
Should be a D8 by this level.
Bard's like the least familiar class I have. So all of my institutionalized knowledge is like, bards? What?
D8. It's a D8.
Okay, yep, you roll a triangle boy.
6.
6. So, you roll, what was the first one?
2.
2, so 6, 12. 12 damage Reno
12 damage Reno.
to the flea.
It barely survives as you slash across it one more time. Technically, we could say that was like a defensive flourish, so you have a higher AC. Or
Well, I thought there was
you
a
do the extra
slash
damage,
or-
or
like a.
that will let you attack another thing. Because weapon deal action damage to target you hit and to any other creature of your choice that you can see within 5 feet. So if you'd like her to cut through the newt and hit one of you guys, I'd let that happen too.
My bad. I thought it was single target damage, but it's multi-target.
Might as well just.
All
might
of
as well
them,
just
all of them
hit
deal that
Candle.
extra
He gets hit
damage.
by
It's just
everything.
one of them gives you AC, one of them lets you move, and one lets you hit somebody else nearby.
Yeah, all good.
So this thing kind of takes that, blows, it tumbles and falls into the magma, and you see the other one also kind of like turn and slither away as they seem to have lost enough and gotten beaten up enough that they are not wanting to keep fighting you guys.
They're
Good.
going to get reinforcements.
Yeah. Hopefully they're like,
Yeah.
man, those guys were badasses. We're not coming back here.
We're not coming back here without the queen. What? What? But they back off, and you have a moment of peace as everything seems to settle.
I would like to use my mimicry feature and bang on Captain Bez's box and just repeat the ignin that using my mimicry feature.
Points a gun up.
You just hear a muffled, "Saw it off! If you killed him, then saw it off. I got nothing for you."
We're all good, Captain.
I push Candle to not push him off, but push him to the side. Like, go on, go sit down.
He's a bit of a prankster. You don't happen to speak
That was-
Ignin, do you?
That was a good fire nude impression.
It's literally
Yeah.
one of the things I do.
You wouldn't happen to
Just-
know Ignin, would you?
No,
Fire nude speech. Yeah.
not at all, no.
Fair enough.
I can tell when it's an angry gurgle versus another gurgle, I suppose. That's it.
Pretty much all
Anyhow,
I know is
we should be at about the 5-mile mark here.
Alright, well.
All right.
As you can see, you kind of are following that same straight direction. You're kind of getting into a section where the ceiling of the cavern above you has kind of come down in a couple spots and seems to be kind of jagged and multi-layered, and you can see there's other lava flows that you think kind of flow into the Slagmere from above here. And so it's almost this like cascading effect of multiple different jagged rocks with drips and waterfalls of magma pouring off of them and landing into the sea around you. And he says, "This is certainly an auspicious location, but I'm not sure if there's anywhere obvious to land. If it was the direction you're talking about, 5 miles, if we're not quite at the 5-mile mark, it would be heading deeper that way to keep going in that direction," he says, pointing towards where there's a bunch of these kind of intertwined waterfalls of magma.
As he points in that direction, does my arm start to like itch?
You don't necessarily get an itch in your arm per se, but for you specifically, you feel a little less bothered by the heat around you as you start to move in this direction. Nobody else really notices any other difference, but for you, you do feel like, as you're kind of flowing in this direction, like it's been miserably hot since you got to Sloughton, especially since you've gotten onto Slagmere, but that seems to subside slightly for you.
I'll just tell it to keep going in the direction we're headed.
Okay. Here. Okay, good. He does a good job. He seems to do a good job of maneuvering around these waterfalls of magma so that they don't pour into or onto the boat, as he kind of has to swerve and steer around a bunch of these. And you can see where these jagged rocks kind of continually cascade deeper and or like lower and lower down, and then more winding and twining, until you can tell it's like getting to the edge where they're dipping into the sort of molten slag itself. The magma out ahead of you, and it seems like there's sections of it that are actually at like water level, at magma level, and have some like sort of potential caveway or pathways that could be followed.
So there's multiple directions of it.
There's like one flat surface area of where these are all intertwined together that they seem kind of jagged and interwoven. So there's kind of multiple starting points, but it looks like it all kind of weaves and jaggedly connects together inside of this back corner here.
Well, it's certainly a good place to hide something.
Yeah.
I'm looking.
I would say,
Except
I would say try to find as good of a spot and let's start walking.
Okay. He'll get pulled up to the edge of this at a low enough point where you guys would be able to kind of clamber off the side of the ship and get onto the jagged bones of the earth on the edge here as you get off of the slag skiff, off of the Slagmere, and back onto solid, albeit jagged and still quite close to magma ground. And I think that's probably where we will stop this recording, as you guys have navigated through the Slagmere and made your way to this landing point. Next time you can explore this section and, I don't know, maybe find something here. We'll see. Hope you all enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one.